Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to this channel. So this is me Alia Wahid, and in this video we are going to study the topic of cultivation of viruses. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about the viruses, we have discussed about their classification, their replication, their morphology. Now in this lecture we will cover only the topic of cultivation of viruses, and this is the last topic of that chapter from the microbiology. So now first of all let's discuss what is the cultivation. So actually it is a technique to grow your viruses in suitable host. So you know very well that viruses are non-living things outside a living cell, so they became living inside the whole cell. So they are grow artificially in a suitable host, and this process is called as cultivation of viruses. What is the purpose of this cultivation? So actually it is used to isolate a particular virus, it is used to identify it, it is used to make specific vaccines against the viruses, and it is also used to study a particular virus structure, its replication and its genetics, that what kind of genes is present inside it. Now let's discuss about some properties of the cultivation of viruses. So your viruses are host specific. Some viruses are like human viruses are only cultivated inside a human cell. Your bovine viruses are always cultivated inside a bovine cell. Your casein viruses are also synthesized or cultivated inside a canine cell. Now let's discuss what are the methods of cultivation of viruses. There are three methods to cultivate them. First, to inoculate your viruses into various animals. Second, inoculate your virus into embryonated eggs. And lastly, you will inoculate your virus into your tissue culture. Now let's discuss all of these three methods one by one. So this is the first method to cultivate your virus. So this method is inoculate your virus into the animals. So what kind of animals is used to cultivate it? So monkey, mice and rabbits are used for this purpose, and mostly mice are used for it. Let's discuss the procedure that how you will inoculate it. So first of all you have to prepare your virus suspension. You will dissolve your virus in a non-aqueous liquid, and then you will inoculate your viruses, and there are some routes through it, like you will inject intracellular into the mice. So intracellular being inside the cerebrum of that mice, subcutaneously and intranasal you can give it to it. Lastly you will observe it, you will observe the signs of disease which appear. You will observe visible lesions, visible pops appear on the skin, and you will kill that particular animal, and you will observe deeply that particular infected tissue. Next method of inoculation is to inoculate your viruses into your tissue culture. So this is the modern technique, and before it or prior to it, the whole animal or eggs are used to cultivate various kind of viruses. What is the procedure of it? First of all you have to prepare tissue culture. How to prepare it? You will make a collection of various cells together. You will grow them at artificially in the laboratories, and after preparing it you will prepare your virus suspension and inject this virus suspension into your culture tissue culture, and after that you will observe it under the microscope, and you will write up your all the results. Next method of cultivation of viruses will be discussed in the next slide. So this is the last method to inoculate your viruses. So this method is to inoculate your viruses inside an embryonated egg. So this method was first discovered by Burnett in 1931. What is the difference? Why we are only taking embryonated egg? So embryonated egg mean it contains the embryo. Unembryonated means it has no embryo, and de-embryonated means it lost its embryo. Now the embryonated egg is very important because it contains all kind of nourishment, all kind of sterilized environment, and it is also protected by a shell, so therefore it is very useful for it. And now what kind of eggs are used? So chicken eggs and duck eggs are used for this process. What are the advantages? So it is protected by a egg shell. So here is the egg, so this is the shell of egg which is going to protect it. It has sterilized environment, you can see it has protection, a lot of layers, so therefore the embryo keeps safe inside it. Nourishment, it contains various kind of electrolytic fluid which contain a lot of minerals, a lot of nutrients in it, so therefore it is very nourishment for, and it also provides the nourishment to your virus also. So it has no defense mechanism, so there is no specific kind of antibodies in it, so therefore we can easily inoculate virus in it and produce their culture. This process is very cheap, no costlier. A thing is required for is less labor. You don't need to attend, and you have not serious type of machinery is used in that process, and maintenance of this procedure is very easy. So in order to see what are the routes of viral inoculation, first of all see what are the parts of your embryonated egg. So I have drawn here embryonated egg. You can see here this is the air sac which is providing a space for that egg. It is controlling the pressure inside your egg. This is the atlantic fluid in which your embryo is going to release a lot of waste in it. This is your embryo, and uh, on the surrounding of this embryo you have another fluid which is called as amniotic fluid, so it is providing protection to your embryo. Lastly the shell, and this is the yolk of your egg cell. Now, what are the routes to inoculate your viruses? So you can inoculate into your yolk sac. You can inject it here. You can inject into Atlantic cavity. So you can inject in this cavity, and you can inject in blackish cavity. So these are the routes of inoculation. After rotation, first of all, so let's discuss the procedure of it. So you will inject your viruses by making a hole in a shell. Let's suppose I have make a hole in that shell, then I will inject a syringe and can inject in various part which is required for it. Then inject at the specific route, and after that I will observe it. There are various methods to detect the growth of virus in it, like how you will detect that a particular virus has started its growth or not. So the death of embryo will happens when the virus starts its develop growth. Then the defects in the development of embryo is noted. Lastly the localized damage in the egg means small kind of pox will appear on it. Now how you will detect your that viruses, and how is the stage of development of virus. So there are two methods. First the electron microscope should be used for it. Lastly there is the candling effect. So what is the candling effect? This is a process in which you will make a egg to place in front of a strongly frequency of light, and after that you will clearly see that what is inside the that particular egg. So when you see it you will observe small kind of pouches in it. So if you observe it, then you will clearly say that the viral growth has been established in that particular cell. So this was all about the today's lecture. I hope that you will like this video. If you like it, then please press the subscribe button and like button, and also press the bell icon in order to get the notification of all the video which I uploaded. So thank you so much for liking this channel, for subscribing to this channel. Now meet you soon in the next lecture. Till up, Allah Hafiz. Take care of yourself. Meet you soon.